and welcome to episode 58 of the Knit Sip Happy podcast. My name is Nancy, and I'm coming to you from the east coast of Canada, just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. Welcome. Welcome if you're new to me. Welcome if you've been here before. Thanks for coming to hang out. I've got so much to show you today. It is Saturday, November 22nd. I just got home from work. Brad is still away visiting family in Newfoundland, so I'm taking advantage of a quiet house to come and have a chat with you before things get even crazier next week. So there will be, everything that I talk about will be linked below. There'll be show notes down there and links to Ravelry pages. I will also have chapters. If there's a section that you're not interested in, you can just skip along. So I have lots to show you because I've been very multi-craftual in the last 3 weeks since I was here. Craftsy have been tempting me away from my knitting a little bit, and Craftsy is very kindly sponsoring today's video. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative. I went right to spinning and found Drafting from Woolen to Worsted with J.C. Boggs Faulkner. I've only watched 2.5 lessons so far, and it is so much information that I stopped spinning along just to watch and listen. I'm going to go back and spin along with her later and fine-tune my techniques. Then I fell down a dream rabbit hole and looked at English paper piecing. I took the quick and easy English paper piecing class with Helen Stubbings. My supplies just arrived, so I haven't actually started yet, but I am very excited. Tomorrow, after I edit this podcast, I'm going to be playing around with some fabric and hexes and doing some English paper piecing. I'm very excited. So Craftsy is always creating new classes to keep you coming back for more and help you stay inspired. You should go and check out. There's loads of classes in knitting, sewing, crochet, even baking, which I didn't even get to. Go to the link in my description and get the first full year of Craftsy Premium for only $1.49. Offer is valid for new members only. So my English paper piecing materials just arrived. I'm decided I'm going to glue based. So I got a fabric glue pen, and my friend Becky from Back to Blighty recommended these little fabric clips to kind of hold things together. And then some, oh my word, teeny tiny number 10 applique needles. We may see if I have to change those for something else. And then a packet of little 1-inch hexes. So I have a bag of fabric scraps from my mum, who is a quilter. And I've been meaning to do this for ages, but the Craftsy sponsorship this week and access to the membership allowed me to kind of get in there and see what the techniques look like. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I have no business starting a new hobby, to be clear. All right, let me put these down somewhere. And let's get into it, shall we? Thank you for all the love. I kind of popped up a surprise vlog not long after I was here last time, because I was going for a fun day out to St. John with some friends, and it was going to have some nitty yarny content. So I thought you might like to come along, and I got some great feedback. It was also a very good practice for Vlogmas because I felt very rusty. Just picking up the camera for whenever. So I really enjoyed doing that, and I'm glad you did as well from your comments. Thank you. We have a giftaway that I will announce later. To be honest, I haven't drawn the winner yet, so we'll do that later, and I'll put it up on the screen. All right, you saw me take a sip. It is red wine season. I am drinking a little Brunello this afternoon. Yeah, lovely. And what I'm wearing my winter version of Laia. So I'm not going to stand up. I might take some footage when I'm finished recording, or I'll just insert pictures from Ravelry. We'll see how this goes and if I remember to take some footage. All right, shall we get into this? Let's start with FOs. I have a few. So I was working on these vanilla socks last time. I started these in Knit City, Vancouver to use as my booth knitting while I was helping Deborah from Yarn Indulgences in her booth. This is her sock marl base. I don't have the ball band, so I don't know what the color is, but really fun shots of kind of coppery and then the pinks and purpley tones with the black stripe marl. So these are a Christmas gift for somebody, so they are going away. Oops, sorry, I just bumped my tripod. Apologies. And I had probably about 30 grams of that left where I didn't use any contrast yarn. So I will pop that in with my scraps and use that to make up for minis. The next finished object, had I started this? I think, yes, I had started this. I finished my honeycomb hat, which is in the book Knit One. I'll put a picture up here because I left it with the rest of the prize in my craft room. I may have to pause and go get that later. So this is from Marie Green. It's a book using just projects to do one skein of yarn. So I had pulled this Bird Street Yarns Strut Your Stuff out of my stash. I would say that the variegated speckled yarn probably isn't showing the pattern off particularly well. I will put a picture in here that I put on Instagram that shows the texture really nicely. Once I got in the rhythm of this, I really enjoyed it. I kept making stupid mistakes and doing cables in the same direction, so I ended up with the section of V's instead of the honeycombs, but that was just complete operator error. The pattern is great. I love the decreases. Really effective kind of wheel decreases at the top there. So this was super easy. Only used 52 grams of yarn. So I have 47 grams to make a pair of socks with some contrast or add it into a different project. We shall see. And yeah, quite a substantial amount of yarn still left there. So I'll have to put the, did I say it was Bird Street Yarns? It was just their 75, 25, 4-ply superwash merino nylon. I grabbed this at the Southern Wool Show in 2023, and it felt too precious to use for socks, so I thought we'll break the seal on it and make a hat with it. For winter walks. Then I had knit a pair of Joe's Perfect Slipper socks for my mother-in-law, and I managed to get a second pair done before Brad left, and I completely forgot. Oh no, I didn't. I did take a picture of this one. I'm mixing it up with the next one. I used Knit Picks Hawthorne, their DK weight. I used 55 grams. There's 45 grams left. This Knit Picks Hawthorne, just the fingering weight, is a real workhorse yarn. So picking up the DK for her for slippers, I was really happy to do that. I had two different colors, and I still have over 40 grams of the other color. So I'm going to do a mixed pair with mixed heels and toes or something that I can combine the two colors and make her another pair. Or hold something else. Well, I could hold something else, double for heels and toes, and make two more pairs, really. That's a thought. So the other thing I did forget to take a picture of was my sister-in-law's socks. I used my collection of columns pattern. I've only got the half finished object picture. I showed you these on the last episode, so you have seen them before, but I did finish the pair, and they went with Brad when he left last Sunday. Boys, oh boys, we're whipping through this. The last thing, I'm calling it a finished object. It still has yarn attached to it because I was uncertain as to whether it really was a finished object. I showed you my crochet blanket last time that I had used with, I had crocheted the body of this blanket probably 3 years ago, and it was just too small. So you can see the stripy center section. So those were Advent fiber bumps that I spun up and then plied with a natural mohair, which So I've got that kind of marley vibe to it, but it wasn't big enough. So I was putting on a border to try and make it bigger. And I think I'd just done the first couple of rounds. I did this dark green is where I started. So, right. So this green was, yeah. So right here and up between this bottom finger is what I've done. So I had a skein each of this dark green and this kind of yellowier green. And I liked what was happening, but I still felt it wasn't quite big enough. So I introduced a navy blue. And then I popped on, I was just scrambling in leftovers of DK weight. And the reason the yarn is still attached is because I had planned on finishing it with this dark blue, but I don't have enough to do a full round. That I know for certain. And then I grabbed this brighter blue, and I thought maybe I would do it with that, but I think I might be getting too crazy on the edge there if I introduce that on there as well. But I could probably do 2 more rounds if I do that. So maybe I'm lying to you. Maybe it isn't quite over. Maybe it isn't quite finished yet. But what I've done has added a good 3 inches, just over 3 inches to each side and top and bottom. So I'm much happier with the size. I just would like to finish it off with a darker color, not this lighter blue. So maybe I'm lying to you. Yeah, I'm gonna do probably 2 rounds of this. So was that the end of FOs or sliding into whips? That's a very good question, isn't it? Sorry, I said I do feel like I'm going at warp speed. I worked alone at the store today because Brad is away, and it was just lots of multitasking and blah, 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 blah. So, actually, let's revisit this as well. This is my flannel crush cowl. I showed you it last time. I hadn't mattress stitched it to seam it. I have done that. And I think I finally took the time to do it properly. I have mattress seamed a couple of different things badly. So I just took the time this time to finish it properly. And I'm really pleased with how that looks at the back. So the instructions tell you to seam it all the way down the back seams. But I remember from my Shift cowl by Andrea Mowry that made it really tight, and it kind of buckled a little bit funnily. So some people had left like kind of a V opening at the back on it. So this is being released on November 26th, and really happy with the fit on this now, with the way it lays. My Shift cowl, all kind of pulls up and rolls. This is laying much nicer with that nice 2-color I-cord bind off. So yeah, really happy with that. Still undetermined if I'm gifting this or if it's staying with me. That is to be determined. But yeah, that is an actual finally finished object. Oh, it looks so good on the screen. Really pleased with that. Such an addictive knit. I will show you. We'll treat this as my first whip. It's my second flannel crush cowl by Samantha Guerin, if I didn't say that. The pattern is not available yet. November 26th. So what's that? Thursday? It will be released. So I'm using the same hand spun that I used for the green one, with this blue Woolstead Sport from Yarn Indulgences. This hand spun is very old, very early on in my spinning journey, and I'm really happy with the way it's knitting up actually. So this is, I think I had showed you last time I was only about here, and I was a little worried about this with the blue that it was muddy, but then we got into a lot better contrast, and I'm really happy with the way it looks now. So I worked on this a little bit this week. I said it's addictive. You just want to keep going and going. So this isn't necessary. There's no rush on this. I don't think it'll go into the gift stash pile. Probably not for this year. I don't think I need any more gifts for this year. But yes, another gift knit. Again, I don't remember if I cast this on last time I was here or not. I feel like we're going to need sock blockers for this. Yeah, there we are. I apologize if I'm a little all over the place. I had started working on a vanilla sock on a 9-inch circular at Knit City, Montreal, with Deborah's Yarn Indulgences. Oh, I have the ball band. Look at me go. So this is Yarn Indulgences in the bamboo sock base. It's lovely to work with. And the colorway is Carnival. And this is what it looks like. Peaches and shots of gold and little bits of blue kind of hiding in there as well. It's egg, like robin's egg blue kind of. So I am knitting a pair of my Incognito socks as a gift for a friend. Ooh, that's really blowing out with this light. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can get it to... That's a bit better. So I'm knitting this to pattern. It is cuffed down with these fun cables. This was the one I collaborated with Merritt from Gobsmacked with the Undercover Orchid, which you have a chance to win a skein of in the giftaway I'll be announcing later. So I have one sock done, and the other sock I am working down the leg. This is why they're called Incognito, because when you look at it, when it's not stretched out, it just looks like a tube of nothing, and then you stretch it out and you can see all the fun detail. So the pattern is hiding. I pulled out my cute little Chapelview Crafts Robin Progress Keeper. So those will be done hopefully this, well, as I said, you've heard me talk about this before. I don't gift knit in December, and next Sunday the 30th is the last day of November. So all my gift knitting will be done by then, or it's not getting done, or they'll get something else. I don't have much left. I do mine through the year, so I don't have crazy amounts to do. I have a couple brand new cast-ons. The first one, I didn't even put it in a project bag because it's going to be so darn quick. I wanted to knit a little scarfy thing. I've got two ladies, my hairdresser and an esthetician that I go see, and I like to give them a little something handmade, as well as some bottles of wine and some odds and sods for Christmas. So I thought a simple thing, but done fingering weight with slower increases to make it more scarfy, not too thick, not too wide at the center point. So I went digging in Stash and found, speaking of, the craft room is almost done, which is why I'm finding all these treasures in my stash. I found some very old Knit Picks Capretta in the colorway Wine. So this base has been discontinued, but it has a 10% cashmere content. Yeah, so it'll be really nice for around the neck. And yeah, so, and it comes already in a little ball. I didn't have to stop and wind it. So that was the win for that, because I started this after work on Thursday, I think I decided. I realized I didn't have anything for them. Yes. I went for a haircut on Wednesday, and I'm not seeing her again until January, which is fine. I'll make an extra stop. But I am going to see my esthetician on Monday, and realized to save myself yet another stop, I should get her gift organized. So Wednesday, I went stash diving and cast this on. So I cast on, as usual, it's an I-cord cast on, very clean, neat and tidy, not difficult to do at all. And then you're just increasing on one side, and there's an I-cord edge on both sides. So it's just knitting garter. And normally with the simple thing, the increases happen every 4th row. I am doing the increases every 6th row, which is just elongating the shape. I've just started this morning, this little point right here, that's as wide as it is. So I'm just starting the decreases. The plan is to use the full 50 grams. So I weighed this ball this morning and I had 28 grams left. So I decided to go ahead and start the decreases just in case, to make sure that I don't run out. It's not a huge problem. I have some other balls of this. So if I did run out, I could steal a bit, but ideally I'd like it in 50 grams. I had yarn picked out for the other lady for a gift, but I think I'm going to rethink that. I have 2 balls of the same color and I don't want to separate them. So I'm going to readjust, but that will also be hopping on my needles. Might be good car driving next week. I've got a couple of long passenger stints of driving. Anyway, so this is the side that you do either the increases or the decreases, and I just hook a little safety pin Progress Keeper stitch marker in there. I don't even clip it, I just hook it in there because it's hard to see the increases and the decreases in garter stitch. All of my modifications are in Ravelry. She has a little, I think a video tutorial or a picture tutorial explaining why you put a stitch marker in. But I think this is gonna be a really good size. I will give it my goal is I need to finish it tonight, tomorrow. I gotta get it blocked. My appointment is after lunch on Monday and I'd like it to have a light block. It may just get a quick spray. We'll see. We'll see when I get it done. But this will be off the needles and then I'll just pop another one right on after it to get that done. So it's been really fun. I rewatched all 3 seasons of The Diplomat on Netflix. Boy, that's a good series. Really enjoyed it. Brad's not a fan of a rewatch. I am a fan of a rewatch, so I decided to go ahead and rewatch it while he was away. And yeah, easy, mindless. Slow down. Another new cast on can be blamed on organizing my stash and cleaning up my craft room and putting in new storage. I found treasures. And I've been wanting to have more cardigans in my wardrobe. There's a real lack of cardigans. I'm struggling with purling long rows. They're causing me a little bit of wrist pain, which is another Craftsy thing I'm going to mention. I'm going to have a look at Portuguese purling to see if it takes the pressure off my wrist. I know it's going to be awkward as anything to start with. Any new technique is, but I saw a class or 2 on Portuguese purling. I also want to explore continental knitting on the knit side of Craftsy. So that will be coming up for me. But in the interim, I found this Rama Phenol PT2. I can't remember what the color is called. It's color number 3. No, it's not. It's 4122 is the color. Yeah, I have 6 skeins of this. And I've also had, I've got quite a few skein deer patterns in my library. She loves a steek. So this is also inspired by Catherine from the Made by Mumino, can't say that fast, podcast. She just finished a beautiful colorwork steeked cardigan, and I've been kind of craving playing with steeks more. This one is knit bottom up, which I never normally do. I should tell you what it is. It's the Housed cardigan. Put a picture up. Ironically, my green looks very like the green in the picture. I don't know whether it is or not. Yeah, so this is knit bottom up with steeks up the front, and then there are steeks for the sleeves. So I've never done steeks for sleeves before, and I want to explore needle felting my steeks instead of doing a crochet. I may end up doing both just to be safe. But this is, you know, really rustic, hairy, sticks to itself kind of yarn. It, you know, it's, yeah, just the back of my swatch, the threads. This isn't next to skin soft for me. This is wearing it on top of something. So it's going to probably be quite cropped, and will be going over top of a dress or a tunic top with jeans or whatever. But it's been in my stash for ages. I got it on a D-stash. I don't even know how long ago. And it's just been hiding out in my stash, being forgotten about. So, bottom up, let me see. I have put in stitch markers for each pattern repeat, just to make sure if I make a mistake, I find it quickly. So this is the lace. Unblocked, obviously, but so it's bottom up lace, and then you get to a certain measurement under the arm. I'm going to need to do some measurements to see where I want the cardigan to hit. It's tricky with dresses. You need it to hit the right spot. Otherwise it can just be too long and it feels a little frumpy to me. So I just need that sweet spot. So I'm going to get to the end of the lace, measure it, and see where I'm at as far as my narrowest point of my waist up to the underarm, and see how much stockinette I need before I cast on for the steeks for the sleeves. So this is really fun. I definitely have to have the chart up because there's not a lot of repeats here to here, I think, is a repeat. It's hard to see the lace. Oh, hang on. I just happen to have a white piece of paper. I wonder if that'll help our cause. Not really. You can kind of see. Anyway, it's been very fun to do. I am enjoying it. I've just put it down because of gift knitting and my self-imposed deadline. I can work on this as much as I want in December, and there's no real time crunch on this. So I did an alternating cable cast on, and then it's twisted rib. I don't know if it was worthwhile doing or not, but yeah, I did. I find the long tail, the German twisted or long tail, that line that goes across the bottom. I'm just playing around with different techniques and trying things out and finding my favorites. Oh, and here's another beginning of round stitch marker from Chapelview Crafts. This episode is not sponsored by Chapelview Crafts. This is a chocolate covered digestive biscuit. Yum. So I said I have 6 balls of this, should be plenty to do this cardigan. I can't do my usual trick, obviously, where this is bottom up. Normally I would go top down, split for the sleeves, put everything on hold, do the sleeves, and then the body is as long as the body is. So I hope I according to gauge and the math and the pattern, I have enough yarn. So I'm not going to worry about it. It's a crop cardigan. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Just trying not to hit the tripod with the bags as I'm chucking them off. The last knitting whip that I have on my list, unless I've forgotten something, I had somebody message me and I'm so sorry, it's escaping my name. I'll put it up on, no, I won't, because I didn't ask. Somebody reach out to me and ask about the mini socks that I knit, what the pattern was. And I realized I have not been keeping up this year. I've been making these little nano socks. This is supposed to be sewn in to make a hanger out of all of the yarn I knit my designs in, and I put them all on my Christmas tree last year. And I have plans to make kind of a clothesline against one of the walls in my craft room and have them pinned up on my craft room wall. Oh, I have something I can repurpose. I have a picture frame that's got like chicken wire on it that I had things clipped to that I don't need. I could make pin up, like I could pin them on there. All right, so nano socks. It'll be linked, the pattern will be linked below. It's these little socks knit toe up, do a little short row heel turn, up the leg, and then do an I-cord. And then you just sew this little I-cord in to make the hanger. Or you don't have to do the hanger. But yeah, so I have a project bag full of yarn from designs this year. So this was from my Froze Shorties. It's Lichen and Lace, Sweet Pea, and I forget what that variegated was. Blossom, Bloom. No, that doesn't sound right. I'll put it on the screen. This is Undercover Orchid. Ooh. By Gobsmacked Yarn. This is Mountain's Edge by Ginger Snap. And I think I have one on the needles. Oh, no, I do not. So what I still have outstanding in here is Boobles and Wicket. So I'm only doing this with my fingering designs because DK is too thick and it would make weird, yeah, it would just be difficult to do. I'm gonna have to go back through and see what else I'm missing. I think I might have missed Njord fingering that I did earlier in the year. I'm just kind of thinking back to my designs I've done this year. So, and I've seen that Njord yarn in my scraps, so I can go back and grab that. I don't think I've done that. So right now I just have these two left to do. I'd like to get them done in December. That way they can go on the tree. Like I said, I just need to sew in the I-cord to make the hanger on these ones. So those were fun little projects until I realized I'd forgotten to gift knit for the two ladies I mentioned earlier, and then this got thrown aside. I said I've been all over the place with my crafting in the last 3 weeks, but specifically in the last week with Brad being gone, I procrastinated and didn't do some things I probably should have done, and did a lot of crafting because I didn't have to cook, I didn't have to clean, I didn't have to be a normal human being. I could just be completely reckless and enjoy it. Yeah, and I did. I really, really did. I really, really did. So that is it for knitting FOs and whips. We're going to have a super short design chat. My Wild Geese socks, DK socks that are knit toe up, launched November 7th. Yes, November 7th. Thank you so much for everybody who purchased the pattern. I was able to donate $1,065 to Veterans Transition Network on November 15th. I made the donation. And all of that money is going to helping Canadian military veterans transition out of the military into civilian life. And I thank you for your support and your enthusiasm. Wild Geese DK socks. This yarn is from Bramble Ridge. The main color is called The Price of Eggs, And the contrast, beautiful blue, is called Robin's Egg. This is a top construction. I talked about this a lot last time, but I just wanted to come on and show you and tell you the amount that I donated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So fundamentally, that's it for me for 2025. I have a pattern in the Lay Family Yarns Advent. If you are getting one of those, the 4-week Advent, I have a sock pattern in there that I'm so excited to show you because it might be my favorite of the year, and that's saying something because I love the Frosé. I love them all, but it's hard to have favorites. The other thing that's been working in the background that I can't show you that's super secret, I am the designer for Bombed Yarns, Sarah in Tasmania. If you were here a couple episodes ago, I was talking about our postal tale of woe that I couldn't get the yarn because of a postal strike, and then we didn't want to risk it getting caught again. So Sarah has been knitting the pattern. She did the swatch for me, and we've been, conversing back and forth by email, and she is knitting the sample socks. I have also knit a pair, and it has been tested. So my work knitting is done for 2025. A few more admin back behind the scenes work that I'm doing, but other than that, yes. And thank you so much for that. I say this all the time. I can't believe I get to do this. I get to come and talk to you and be part of this amazing community. And I get to make socks even more than I would probably normally make socks. No, that's not true. I always make socks. And I've done more teaching this year, again, socks. So speaking of that, I've been getting a lot of questions about teaching online or availability and things like that. So I'm looking into doing like Zoom classes or offering some kind of online live class that we could interact with each other. So leave that with me. That's a technology thing. I hope I can figure that out and do some research and get into that in 2026. Yeah, that's where that's at. So let me put this down and we'll move on. So I was here last time talking to you about embroidery, but I hadn't been able to start it because I had the wrong size hoop. Just trying to find the picture. Oh, there it is. So it's this one that I'm doing for Samantha. It's called Flowers with Love, and I got this off of Love Crafts. It's a free pattern on Love Crafts. So I got working on this week because I finally got a hoop that fit. I had gone to Michael's, so I had a hoop. I had a 5-inch hoop, and I thought that was going to fit it. It didn't. So I went to Michael's. They didn't have a 6-inch hoop, so I got a 7-inch hoop. Thought maybe that'll work. Nope, didn't work. So I had to order a 6-inch hoop, and it worked. I could have just retraced the design on a bigger piece of fabric and made it fit in the 7-inch, but I didn't want to. So this is what I have so far. Overall, happy with it. I just need to do the woven wheel up here. I've done everything else. Yeah, I've done everything else. What I'm not happy with is this, the top of the mason jar. When I traced it, I obviously traced it wonky. This curve here should be up a little straighter. So I need to, I think I have to take that stitching out and redraw the line and restitch it. I don't think I can live with that. This is a gift for Samantha. I'm really, really pleased with the way it looks. And I've saved the woven wheel till last because that's one of my favorite things to do. I really enjoy doing that. So this was an anchor pattern. So I just found a chart online and converted the anchor colors to DMC because those are the flosses that I have. back. I have a lot of floss from when I cross-stitched all the time before my vision went to absolute crap. And I came back to knitting. Now I've got ways, you know, better lighting. I have progressives now, so that helps. But yeah, so this will be done again, probably next week. If I have to do that in December, that doesn't bother me so much. And then just need to finish off the back and put the felt on. I might stitch a little message on the felt before I glue it on. Or stitch it on, sorry. We'll see. We'll see how inspired I feel. Okay, perhaps red wine wasn't such a good idea. I'm starting to I'm starting to glow a little. As she takes another sip. I also got into cross stitch. I showed you this before and I had already started it, but I decided to do a little bit of this while I was waiting for the hoops to arrive. So this is Jardin Privé. It's winter sampler. And as much as I don't like winter, this is very, very cute with the mittens and the scarf and the ball of wool. So I had already started this. Let me grab my fabric. So for cross stitch, I stitch in hand using the sewn method. I've always done it that way. I've never used a hoop for cross stitch. So what I had done before was the mittens. I'm missing a light blue that's in another project. I had done most of the hat, the mittens, and the yarn ball. I had to rip out the scarf and redo that, but I did get into some other colors and do this bit of garland and the red zigzag rickrack at the bottom. So that was fun. I love knitting. I love crafting in general. The thought of sitting down in an evening and watching TV and not doing anything with my hands is such a foreign concept to me. I've always done something. I've always stitched, embroidered, knit, crochet. I've always done something ever since I was a kid. So it's fun to do different things, which is why I'm really excited to get the English paper piecing into rotation. I really hope I like it because I really want to play. Yeah, I really hope I like it. That is all. So that'll be fun to work on in December if I have time, that winter cross stitch. I'm not going to talk about Advents specifically. I'm going to come back late next week and do a pre-Vlogmas kind of plans and thoughts and what we're going to get up to for the month of December. Spinning. So I mentioned at the very beginning, I started watching the drafting class by JC Boggs Faulkner, and she is the lady who started Ply magazine and is very, very knowledgeable. And I had several aha moments just in the first class of things that she was talking about. So I'm in the middle of a spin, so I wasn't spinning along with her. I had to stop because there was so much information and I just needed to watch what she was doing. I didn't want to be watching what I was doing. So I was watching her classes, and that's something I'm going to get back to when I'm doing other crafting next week. But I did want to show you what I have been spinning on my little Nano. I just unplugged it from the battery. Oh, it's blowing out. It's this beautiful kind of appley green with shots of the blues and purples and pinks. This is called Electric Slide by Fiber Imp. This is a purchase made this summer during Tour de Fleece. And it's lovely to spin. This is the last third of the fiber. So I have 2 full bobbins. And yeah, I've really been enjoying this one. But again, it's not been getting a ton of love because I've been doing lots of other things. The thing with doing lots of things, you get less progress on each thing. But dream knitting. I buried that. Hang on one sec. So, dream knitting. As I mentioned, I've been sorting out my stash, and I found this rather monumental bag of Lichen and Lace Rustic Sport in the colorway Sky. I had bought it originally to do a Marie Green pattern, a tunic that I thought I could wear over skinny jeans and leggings. I don't think I would wear it, so I didn't ever make it. And then weight comes, weight goes, styles change, styles come. So I don't even know how many I have in here. I think I bought this back in 2016 or 2017 from Megan at Lichen and Lace. While we were at PEI, I saw a lot of beautiful Lunenburg sweaters by Savory Knitting, Amy Christoffers. I'll put a picture in here. I love the colorwork yoke on it. I've heard the fit is slightly problematic, but I now know more, and I think I can tweak it to get the fit I want with that pattern. And I have this. So this is going to be the main color for my Lunenburg pullover sweater, whatever it's called. I'm going to put on the screen colors I just purchased from Megan's website. It's going to be too late by the time you see this, but she has currently 30% off on her Rustic Sport. So I ordered 4 skeins for contrast for my Lunenburg. And so that is dream knitting. I don't know, a whole bunch of my friends, we ended up on Instagram last night all picking colors. So I am going to need lots of space in my car when I go to Sackville, Lichen and Lace. I'm going to go during Vlogmas. We're going to go for a visit to the Lichen and Lace shop, maybe studio. I've got to message Megan and see what she can do as far, if we can get a little back behind the scenes footage or action. I have no idea. I don't want to make any promises because I haven't talked to Megan yet about it. But we were all on the Lichen and Lace website last night ordering skeins of Rustic Sport like possessed things. So I will be picking up large quantities of Rustic Sport to deliver to my friends. Yeah, how fun. More than happy to be a yarn mule. And then we'll do another group knit, I guess. I don't know when we're going to do it, but yeah. It's, like I said, it's been in my stash so long, it needs to be used and come out of stash. So that is dream knitting. The other dream knitting is fundamentally Advent based. I do want to do Sam's maple vest. I have yarn pulled for that. This really fun fluffy vest I said I would knit for her. Probably won't happen until the new year for that one because Advent is going to be lots of other crafting to do with my Advents. So we'll talk about those specifically when I do my next little short pre-Vlogmas video that'll be released probably on the 30th. Probably on the 30th. Maybe the 1st. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to be Vlogmas. I usually upload at night. I shouldn't be thinking this out while I'm on the phone. While I'm on the phone with you, while I'm on the camera with you. I'll think about it later. So let's do the Giftaway Winner. So to be perfectly honest, I have not drawn it yet. I wanted to leave it open until tomorrow, Sunday, November 23rd. By the time you see this, I will have hearted every comment and replied back as I could, or if there was a question or something specific. There was a lot of comments, and I thank you so much for that. I'm just going to go and grab the prize so I can show you where I'm going to be sending out to somebody. So I was very kindly sent the book I mentioned earlier, Knit in One. Did I say Knit One? Knit in One by Marie Green. I was sent it to go through and review and knit something out of and then give it away if I wanted to. And I do want to give it away. So I also had another skein of the Gobsmacked Undercover Orchid that I didn't need for my design for the Incognito socks. So I got this and this. And then, while I was cleaning my craft room, I found this tote bag that I had bought ages ago. It was on clearance somewhere at the end of the tourist season. Anyway, I thought that seeing as I asked you where you were all from, and thank you, that was a lot of fun to see where all over the world that you are. Some were next door neighbors in my own town, and some were across the world and beyond. It was amazing. Loved it. Thank you so much for playing along. Don't worry if you couldn't get an emoji, you were still in for it. As long as you left a comment, you were in. Anyway, so I thought this would be fun to send along with the book and the yarn as the prize for the giftaway. So this is going to be a surprise for me too, but the winner is, drum roll please, there's the screenshot. Congratulations. If you would reach out to me at the email below, that's linked below, just send me an email and let me know that you've won with your mailing address, full name and mailing address, and I will get this in the mail to you as soon as I can. So that's that. Again, thank you all for playing along and being here and listening to me ramble on. I love coming and talking about this so much. You know, it's something, if you're here, it's something that you love as well. This craft and this love of woolly things. And I really, really enjoy coming and chatting. Let me put this down so I don't knock the tripod. I might have knocked over one of my plants. Oh no, it's okay. What is next? Okay, so it is Samantha. Sun is setting. The sky is beautiful out there. Samantha's on her way to Moncton. We are going to see Wicked for Good at the movie theaters tomorrow. Cannot wait. So I think we're going to watch the original movie tonight while we eat pizza and drink red wine. But I don't know if you remember earlier in the year, or was it last year when I bought the yarn? I don't remember. I had bought 2 skeins from Area 51, is a Canadian self-striping dyer, and she does a lot of fandom dyes. So this is Elphaba, and this is a Glinda color, but I don't think it was called Glinda. I did my collection of columns, one of the columns out of that pattern. And what I have done is I have done one sock each for Samantha and I, and this is a surprise. She doesn't know about this. I can't remember if I showed them on Instagram. Probably not, because she's on Instagram. Anyway, they're 2 different sizes because her feet are smaller than mine, but we each have an Elphaba and a Glinda sock to wear to the movie tomorrow, probably with our Wicked sweatshirts. I don't know. I wonder if she brought her hoodie. We had matching hoodies last year as well and went to see it. Nerd. So I thought I would just bring this out and show you these because they're going to be worn tomorrow. But at the same time, when I had bought those skeins of yarn from Area 51, I had also bought, so this is her logo, Bella at Area 51. She does these great 50-gram skeins. So what I had done with these was used contrast, heels, toes, and cuffs, and got 2 pairs, or a pair of socks out of 50 grams. But I had ordered 2 skeins of this, so Sam can have a pair and I can have a pair, matching. And I couldn't find it. I wanted to have these knit for her, for us for Christmas. And I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it. So I knew when I cleaned my craft room, I would find it, because I went through every single bin and bag and everything just to try and organize things. And lo and behold, I found this bag with this one already caked up with a fluorescent green and a black to use for heels, toes, and cuffs, however I'm going to do it. So I am going to, not finish that Simple Thing scarf tonight because I need to cast this on the cuff on and get started on a 9-inch circular so I can knit in the movies tomorrow. And just go round and round and round and have this memory of knitting these socks at Wicked 2. Wicked for good. So that simple thing scarf may not be getting blocked before it goes. Or it gets blocked and I just dry it with the hairdryer Monday morning. That might happen. So this was a huge win for organizing and cleaning up my craft room. I kind of squealed and Brad was wondering what was going on. And I was like, I finally found it. So that's going to hop on the needles and yeah, we'll see where that goes. I'm not really counting that as gift knitting. If I feel like working on them in December, I will. But there's no specific deadline for those. Like I said, there'll be a pair for Sam and a pair for me. Her lovely husband is being deployed December 3rd. So I already gave him his Christmas socks because I won't see him again before he leaves. All right, there have been some acquisitions made since you were here last. If you saw the vlog that I put out in between since the last podcast, some of these you will have already seen. Let's start with the ones that you haven't. I received my package from Lay Family Yarns with my sock advent. I didn't bring that to show. So I got from lovely Kelly and Nick the sock advent. So I will open every Sunday of Advent. I will open up a package and then knit a pair of socks through the week. Hopefully, if I can keep up with the other sock knitting or with the other crafting I want to do during Vlogmas. We shall see. If not, I'll catch up between Christmas and New Year's. But I ordered some extra goodies. I didn't feel like the Advent could come across the pond on its own. So, I love a sock blank. So this one is called Dyer's Apron. I forgot to ask Kelly if there was a story behind this as far as, is it just leftover stuff or is it designed to look like the apron after you're done dyeing? But yeah, really, really, really pretty. I can't say no to a sock blank. And then I loved this bottle brush Christmas tree, which is the main color. I don't think we have a color, and then there's a boucle mini. So this is a DK sock set with the peachy boucle. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Yeah. And then elf mail. As soon as you see the colors, you'll know I couldn't say no to this. So it comes with 50 grams of a variegated speckle and then some of the dinky skeins, 4 little dinky skeins. So I have no plans on doing anything with this over the holidays. It was just too pretty to leave behind. Yeah, it's just on the 75-25 superwash merino nylon with a 50 gram and then 4 10-gram minis. Isn't that lovely? And then, as a lovely, amazing gift, Kelly sent me one of Nick's hand-painted sock blanks, and you just won't believe it. I mean, so it repeats. So there's 3 repeats of this with the robins on the branch with the hollies and Merry Christmas. Gasped. Ah, I can't even with this. It's going to be one of those things that is too precious to use. But because there's 3, I think Kelly had said this somewhere, that you can knit and just cut off one of them and keep one of them to hang up somewhere. Wouldn't that be pretty in a frame? I don't know what size frame it would fit, but there's got to be some way I could mount that. Oh, they're so cute. Anyway, I've already said a huge thank you to Kelly, and I don't talk to Nick online, but I'm sure his message gets passed along. Talented, talented man. Amazing. I said, I don't know when I'll use it because it feels incredibly precious. So that was a lovely surprise. Then, so part of my day out, I picked up a whole bunch of Knit Pro crochet hooks. I've heard really good things about these crochet hooks, and these are for Sam. I gave her my crappy set of crochet hooks when she started to crochet because I didn't think it was going to stick. But she is still crocheting. She's been crocheting for a couple of years. She's crocheting garments and stuff now. So I thought I could give her, so I got 5 and they're all different sizes. So I'm going to put those in her stocking for her. So this was at Good Vibrations in St. John, an amazing local yarn shop in St. John, New Brunswick. Liz has a square site so you can order online. I learned to spin from Liz, if you recognize the name. She taught me and Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine how to spin back in 2019. And she always has the best sock yarn, commercial sock yarn, and great deals on her commercial sock yarn. So if you buy 2, they're slightly cheaper. So I picked up 2 skeins of manly colored. I hope the light is fine. It is almost dark outside. It's looking okay on my screen. So I got these really fun. I've never used this brand before. Well, that's not true. It's Prolana. So I've used the Prolana sock yarn before, but this Golden Socks Matterhorn is obviously just a different line. Anyway, I like these colors. Not quite as boring as some of the manly colors I've done in the past. So I thought this would be fun to knit. The other thing I got from Liz is she brings in cones of, what are we calling it? Donegal tweed yarn. And she's had the Aran for a while and started to bring in the fingering. She's using it mostly for weaving. We got there, there was a group of, how many of us was there? 6 of us? 7 of us? Oh man, we took over. And she had just gotten an order in, and so yarn was everywhere. We were in the back of her space digging in boxes. We were taking over the joint. So I bought 400 grams. I'm just going to try and get close and blow this out a little bit. Yeah, that's it. It's a really goldy, yellowy green with blue neps, tweedy neps in there. So I got 4, she wound off 400 grams for me. I didn't want the whole cone. So she wound off 400 grams for me, and then my friend Leanne took the rest of the cone. And then I picked up this natural. It's a really creamy, again, I'm just going to try and blow it out and get the camera to, yeah, it's not really going to. It's a really creamy color. So these two are going to go together in Isabel Kramer Christmas Bell, I think it's called. I had seen, and again, if you've seen the vlog, I apologize, Olivia 30M, Olivia 3M. Oh goodness, Olivia, I'm doing it again. I'll put it on the screen below. Olivia is knitting one in red and natural, and I gasped when I saw it. It was amazing. So I'm not a red fan, but this green, yes, please. So I thought this would be great. I would like to say I'm going to cast this on in December. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But I have it. Did I need it? Absolutely not. The downside to the craft room, which I will show you during Vlogmas, the process and what it looks like now, I now have a load more space. That was not the intention. That was not the plan to then go, oh, I can buy more yarn because I now have more storage space. But it is so organized now. There's a few final bits and pieces, and I need Brad's help putting some things up on the wall. And so it's not ready for its final reveal yet. And if you'd like me to show you on a regular podcast, I can do that as well. We will be recording in there eventually, but while Brad is not here and I have the space, I'm doing it out in the living room. The other place I stopped on my crafty day on the way home from St. John, just outside of Moncton, is a little town called Salisbury, and there's a store there called Loopy Wool. Yeah, Loopy Wool. They have a website. They were fundamentally rug hooking, needle felting, but they've built a beautiful store there, and it's not open when I normally drive by, or when I think to stop in. So they were open the day that I drove, that Tuesday, I think it was, that I drove past. I got there 15 minutes before they closed. So I whipped in there, asked the very nice lady if I could do some recording. She said as long as she wasn't in it, absolutely. So I filmed a walkthrough on the vlog. I'll link that vlog here in case you want to watch it. And it'll be linked below as well in case you're interested in what I got up to on this crafty day. But they have now started dyeing their own branded sock yarn. So this is a standard 75-25 sock yarn. And this color just spoke to me. No surprise. I was telling somebody yesterday, my color scheme is a peacock tail, like the peacock feathers. The greens, the blues, the purples, the iridescent, the shimmer, that is my color palette. 100%. So I picked up this. Did I need another single skein of sock yarn? Absolutely not. But I had to support a local business. All right, I'm at the bottom of my basket. I just have a few other things to talk to you about. Next week is going to be kind of hectic because I am going to Sydney, Nova Scotia. Tracys Rolling Yarn Shop is the yarn trailer that travels around. She now has a bricks and mortar store, which she calls her Unrolling store, which I think is hilarious. I was talking to Tracy, and anyway, I am going, Deborah from Yarn Indulgences is going to have a trunk show, and I'm going to be teaching my sock heel clinic on Friday, November 29th of 2025. So if you're watching this and you're in the area, as of today, Saturday, November 22nd, there is still space in my class. So, but it's about a 5-hour drive there and back. So we're going up on Friday, spending the night Friday, spending the full day in Tracy's store on Saturday, which will be so much fun, and then coming home on Sunday morning. So that's fun. I meant to get up to Tracy's shop this summer, but it just never happened. So I'm happy to be getting there. The other thing I need to mention is that the Heart to Heart Knitting Fiber store in Paulsbo, Washington, run by the lovely Lisa. She is doing a sock club next year. It closes, I believe, on December 15th, or the early bird closes on December 15th. Check out her website. I'll have it linked below. She's doing a 12-month sock club, and every month is going to be using one of my patterns. And we've decided that I will be doing an exclusive design for the sock club. We're not sure what month it's going to be yet, and whether that's going to be a surprise, so I don't want to spoil it and say anything. But if you're interested, I will leave that linked below. It's going to be a skein of indie dyed yarn, some treats every month, and a discount on my patterns. Some patterns the months will be free patterns, and some will be discounts. So yeah, if you are sock obsessed like me, and in the US, and that's easily accessible to you, then Heart to Heart Knitting Fiber in Paulsbo, Washington. I will have Lisa's website linked below. That is all I have on my notes. Chat. Was there any? I feel like there was and I've forgotten. That's good, isn't it? Brad's been away. You guys all loved the mouse story last winter. So I have another funny story of Brad being away. So the day before Brad left, the washing machine broke. Fine. We're making it work. We used our son's washing machine, and if the part doesn't come in, he's ordered the replacement part. But then he's been away. So the part hopefully will be arriving early next week, and he'll be able to install it. If it doesn't, and if he can't, I'm going to have to take my knitting and my earbuds and my phone to a laundromat and tie up 4 machines and just do 4 loads and then bring it all home to dry it, hang it, put it on racks, whatever. So that was the first tale of domestic woe before he left. And the next one, Wednesday night, I cooked my dinner. So the joy of Brad being away, he's a very particular eater. He won't, I would cook once for the week and I'd eat the same thing all week. Same lunch, same breakfast, same dinner, because it's easy. And he's not having that. So I bought a whole rotisserie, fully cooked chicken at the beginning of the week. So I ate, had salads, I had wraps, I had different things. And then with whatever was left over, I made pasta. I made a cheesy pasta dish, fired it in the oven, and then put the bones in with some vegetables and made a really nice stock. As it's cooking, I'm smelling something odd. I'm like, But I couldn't track it down, couldn't figure it out. Nothing was like visibly burning. There was no smoke, but I was smelling like a burnt plastic kind of smell. So I also stay up quite a bit later when Brad is away because he's an early bed and I like to stay up late. So while he's away, I stay up late. So 11:45, I turn the TV off and I can hear something that I shouldn't be able to hear. Your house makes noises and the noises that your house makes. I'm hearing a fan, a hum that I shouldn't be hearing. So I'm following my ears and it's the oven. I open up the oven and a fan is working in there that shouldn't be. It's off and has been off for several hours. And that's where the smell is also coming from. So I was worried it was going to burst into flames and thought, okay, I'm going to have to go downstairs and turn off the breaker. Perfect. Down to the fuse box in the basement with the flashlight. There's a sticker there with Brad's handwriting with oven range. So I'm like, perfect. Click, click. Come upstairs. The oven is still on. So I went outside and I turned the propane off because we have an electric oven. But anyway, there's a propane element to it. So I turned off the propane just to be safe in case something was combustible. And then I had to call Brad. It's now 12:15. And in Newfoundland, it's an extra half an hour. So for him, it's 12:45. But we have our phone set up that if we call each other, it goes through no matter what time it is. So he picked up right away. And I told him what was happening. And then I turned off the breaker and it didn't go off. Silence on the phone. As he says to me, and he says, yeah, that writing has nothing to do with the breakers. What do you mean? It has nothing to do with the breakers. So, spoiler alert, we have a really awful afternoon coming sometime soon where we're going to have to turn on everything in the house. And then he's going to have to turn breakers on and off. And I'm going to have to tell him what's on, what's off. And we're going to have to write new stickers for our fuse panel. But in the actual Wednesday night issue, I was running sprints up and down the stairs at about 12:20 to 12:40 up and down the stairs. And he's like, I'm going to stay on the phone with you. I'm like, why? So I can curse you out every time I run past the phone? I don't need you on the phone anymore. I just need to keep doing this until I find the right breaker to turn the oven off. So I opened up the oven door so I could see the light. So I was running down the stairs, flicking a breaker, running back up the stairs to us. I didn't have to go all the way to the kitchen because I could see the light from the top of the stairs. Running back down, click, try again, click, back up the stairs, up and down, up and down, up and down. I was not very pleased. But I found it. About 3/4 of the breakers through, I found it. And it got done. And we said goodnight to each other. And I kind of got to sleep. Took me a while to kind of bring my blood pressure back down from running up and down the stairs and the fuming that I was doing over this bloody stove. Anyway, that's my humorous domestic story for this week. Said, I know how much you enjoyed the mouse in the couch story last year while Brad was away. It's always something. It's funny. We always joke. He leaves to go somewhere whether it's to his friends in Nova Scotia or whether it's to his parents in Newfoundland. Something always happens. Anyway, I am going to bid you farewell, my friends. If I have forgotten anything, I will be back to add it in later. I will look completely different because I'm not editing until tomorrow, Sunday. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful, I should mention, this may be the last podcast until the end of December because Vlogmas. Not everybody is into vlogs, and I understand that. So if that is not you, if you are not a fan of watching Vlogmases in the month of December, I will see you during Twixtmas, that period between Christmas and New Year's. I will sneak in for a December update and show you what I did with my Advents and with what I made during the month of December. Yeah, I forgot to write that in my notes. So if you are coming for Vlogmas, I will see you next week for a little pre-show. If you are not coming for Vlogmas, I will see you at the end of December. And if I don't see you until the end of December, I wish you the happiest of holidays, the merriest of Christmases with your family, your loved ones, your friends. And we will see you on the other side. Cheers, my friends.